Yeah, if I saw you, I said, if I got somebody that's
You want chair? There?
No, this is good.
You have to clean up.
It's good right there. No, I can't. I need glasses.
Oh, different one?
No, this is. I'm fine with these. Everybody, I'm live from the from Victory Church in San Antonio. I'm doing the we got a concert going on tonight, so if you guys want to check it out, it's going to be a really good concert. Hopefully you enjoy it. Here, I'll give you a there you go. Hopefully you enjoy the concert tonight. Feel free to chat in and do whatever on here. So thank you for coming to my channel. If you did come to my channel tonight.
Okay, that's also mystery. Hey, how are you doing?
Good. You just got married.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, thank you. It's a real surprise.
I go all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, we're sitting in the really back here. Sir, you were in his airport during practice. So I sit down and see and so we're just here for prayer. We just came in early to pray for everybody and everything. Whatever God does here tonight. The movement of the Holy Spirit has to be prayed. So we'll see what God does. See you later. How are you?
I haven't grown height in 3 years.
I know he's taller than me now. It's crazy. Taller than me.
Long time no see. How you doing? Pretty good. How are you? Doing well. Keeping out of trouble?
Oh no.
That's right, I'm back.
I know.
How you doing, Bubba? Good to see you, dude. Yeah, I'm having fun over there, though.
Huh?
Having fun over there, we're at. Hey, it's just,
What's up, Mr. Paul?
looking. How you doing, babe?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. We like it over there.
Where are you guys been?
Gateway. Cam, Ward. It's not too far. We got like this diagnosis. Tried a couple times and they're here now.
Nice.
They're basically if it's church. They plant churches all over the region. So I didn't do anything for a while. On safety, now well, there's my job. They do work orders vest and name tag. You know, watch parking lot. Couple with the crowd sitting. That's all it is. And so it's fun. I mean, it's good. I'm trying to get up. Next time they have a mission trip, they went all over now. So we're going to try to go there and then come back. There's talk of opening up a gateway in church. And the pastor said, if you do, can you be involved? Well, yeah, we can. We're, that could be your main. That's thing like that. So we'll probably involve that more when it comes finished. They just don't know where they're trying to expand more on the different elements of that version. We're loving it.
Yeah, you just go where God leads you.
That's about what we do. I mean, we do now. He knows about his truck over here. He's old. I'm not.
Yeah. It's the long beard that I got going on. Yeah, you know, it's the gray and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the gray in my hair and the baldness.
Like maybe 45 or already. I go say like this.
Hey, welcome viewer, welcome to the channel. Make sure you enjoy this concert. Make sure if you know anybody that wants to come and check it out and join it, let them know. Send them word out. say hi to my channel?
Come on out there. That awkward moment. Sure. Yo. Little Italian just doing it. Okay, that sounds great. Yeah.
actually the I knew Colonel Ferdinand from when I was at
It was funny because I kept crossing her path. Like she was the commander of the CAT, and then she went to Korea. And she was like, like some commander of the brigade, like some big brigade over there. And then she got a star and was like the commander of advancing for a bit. So it's kind of like, oh, I keep crossing her path.
No, it's weird because the same thing would happen to me too. I'd be rotating between, different captains and brigades and stuff. And I'd run into people who were like, hey, I haven't seen you. Hey, what's going on, Elias? How you doing, man? Getting ready to go to bed? Yeah, I know it's kind of late out there. Hope everything stays safe where you're at. How's everything been? Unless I just missed you, but I was just saying hi, Elias. I know you'll probably end up watching this later, maybe. Miss you, bro. Miss you. And if you guys don't know who Seventh Day Slumber is, make sure you check them out on Spotify. A lot of their music's really good, and it's got a good message behind it. So make sure you check them out on there.
Yeah, how's life been going, my brother?
Good, man. It's going pretty good.
You rocking live stream back here?
Yeah, I got the live stream.
Dope. That's awesome, man.
It's gonna be so awesome.
We have you seen these guys before? You have? Nice. This is my first time.
Skylar.
I didn't know if it was live streaming. Hey,
Yeah, I'm
guys.
live streaming. Yeah, I'm live streaming right now. It's okay.
I'm so
it's
sorry
okay.
about
No. Hey, join in my live stream.
I was totally just joking.
No. I mean, we only got one viewer on it right now, but I mean, I'm sure that we'll get happen.
That's what's up, man.
Welcome to my channel.
Dude, I was catching these guys earlier on their sound check.
Man, I know. It's gonna be rocking.
Super tight.
It's gonna be rocking. It's a whole, like, you hear them on like Spotify and stuff like that, but when you hear it, like, it just. And then I don't know if you've seen like the Hillsong concerts and all that yet. Have you been to the Hillsong ones?
It's 32?
Yeah. I've been to Casting Crowns. I've been to a ton of them. It's way better.
I can imagine. There's something about being in the room with it, you know?
It's just that energy. The energy gets going and everything else. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a good time.
I'm super pumped, man. I'm gonna go find Mr. Kim.
Found some too. We must have a ton. Cool. How's that?
Don't hit the camera. Don't hit the camera.
Still got a lot going on. Should be starting here pretty soon, so I know you got my glasses on right now. It's harder for me to see at night when I don't have my glasses.
you'll do this section. TJ will do the middle left, and you'll kind of like do this section. You can walk down like back and forth through here. Okay. And then TJ will do this. And I'll do that. Yeah.
What's up with it, San Antonio family? Make some noise! Yeah, we're late tonight. I'm not convinced. Let me hear it from the left side. Make some noise! Okay, not bad, not bad. What you got, right side? Make some noise! Woo! Come on with you guys, pumped? Are y'all excited? One question. Are you ready to rock? war. I'll win this war. It's about to go down. Welcome to the showdown. They're stepping up, 'cause it's gonna get ready to throw down. You're at the top, but I'm on your bluff. Your numbers up, 'cause this is the showdown. Look into my eyes, fire inside. Always gonna do, never gonna die. You give me my courage, you're running high, 'cause I was born to fight. Welcome to the showdown. How you guys feeling out there tonight? If you can handle the heat, let's step away from the fire. 'Cause I burn with strength to fight, and I'm a warrior inside. You can stack the odds against me and claim the battle's yours, but prepare for me to fight back. I'll strike back and win this war. I'll win this war. It's about to go down. Welcome to the showdown. One by one, they're stepping up, 'cause they think I'm getting ready to throw down. You're at the top, but I'm on your bluff. Your numbers up, 'cause this is the showdown. Look into my eyes, fire burns inside. I'm feeling so alive. Always gonna do, never gonna die. And it's all love. You can't get my pride, 'cause you're running high, 'cause I was born to fight. Welcome to somebody. Welcome to the showdown. Welcome to the showdown. Yeah. One by one, they're stepping up, 'cause it's gonna get ready to throw down. You're at the top, but I'm on your bluff. Your numbers up, 'cause this is the showdown. Look into my eyes, fire burns inside. I'm feeling so alive. Always gonna do, never gonna die. It's all love. You can't get my pride, 'cause you're running high, 'cause I was born to fight. Welcome to the showdown. Universal City, Texas, man. Yeah! I gotta say, these lights are really bright. But you know what? I can still see each and every one of you out there. And I can tell by the looks of you, we got a beautiful crowd out there tonight, man. If you look as good as you feel, let me hear you make some noise, Texas. Oh, all right. I'll give that an 8.5 on the awesome scale. But I still think we got a little bit more energy in this room. I'm gonna try this one more time, and I need full hope and recovery intensity. Are you guys with me? Texas, how are you guys feeling out there tonight? That was awesome, man. Thank you. My name is Matt Sassano. It is an honor and a privilege to be here. I came all the way from Knoxville, Tennessee to hang out with you guys tonight. Yeah! Well, let me just say it's been an honor and a privilege to take the stage with 7 Day Slumber, get to rock out and see so many lives changed in the process. Special shout out to everybody who made this thing possible. The kitchen staff, all the people that made this thing go, man. Thank you guys so much for being so awesome. Now, on an unrelated note, I just want to kind of see who's like me in this room, number one. And number two, who's not afraid to tell the truth. So, here's a question for you. How many people are like me and have ever been in a bad friendship or bad relationship before? Is it just me? Come on! Woo! All right! Well, you'll be glad to know that this next song is about staying away from those people. And it's called A Devil Won't Change His Ways.
Because the world's a stage, just another sleight of hand. To keep the pawns in play, just another sneak attack. To fix the final score, just another solid spark. Methods of the firestorm. There's nothing more I need to say. The devil won't change his ways. Saw you when you lie with a straight face. But the devil won't change his ways. And once it takes a roll, it's a rigged game. The devil always wins cause the rules change. And even if it all goes up in flames, the devil won't change his ways. Alright, I'm gonna get my dance on. So please don't judge too harshly. Here we go. The devil won't change his ways. The devil won't change his ways. Changes, just another twisted lie to cover up the crime. Just another back that's turned full of rusty knives. Just another promise made. No one sees the fingers crossed. Just another friendly bet. Till the devil comes to collect the cost. There's nothing more I need to say. The devil won't change his ways. Saw you when you lie with a straight face. But the devil won't change his ways. No once it makes a roll, it's a rigged game. The devil always wins cause the rules change. And even if it all goes up in flames, the devil won't change his ways. 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 Devil won't change his ways. Alright, Universal City, I want to hear you cheer. If you've ever been in a friendship or relationship with someone who's much like the devil, let me hear ya! Me too, man, me too. But you know what? This is a recovery tour. I'm recovering, and we're gonna do this one more time. The devil won't change his ways. 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 Alright, Universal City, you guys have been an awesome crowd so far, man. Woo! And I hate to be the bearer of bad news before I'm the bearer of good news, but some devils just won't change their ways, man. But you know what? I'm a nice guy though. My name is Matt Sassano, and I think we're gonna get along just fine. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys, man. 7-day slumber, hope and recovery tour, man. Yeah. Woo! All right. I just gotta get this out of the way because it's gonna bug me the entire set if I don't. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate my dance moves? Come on, baby, give me. Move over, Toby Mac. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, man. Thank you guys so much. It's great to see some awesome faces out there. I know that this tour is dedicated to recovery, and I know there's a lot of people that come from a lot of different backgrounds and situations, and are praying for certain things in their lives to take place. And I don't know how many, I think there's a few things that are important when we're going through dark times. It's that we feel seen, heard, and cared for. And I don't know how many of you guys are like me and have ever just been going through a dark time
and felt completely ignored before. But there was a time when I felt like God was ignoring me. And so, to wrap my head around the dark situation I was in, to try to make sense of my depression and the isolation of my bedroom, I used to write letters to God, venting my frustrations and asking Him what His purpose for my life was. And a couple years later, I got to write a song about that very struggle with a guy by the name of Josiah Prince from Disciple. Do we have any Disciple fans in the house tonight? This is a brand new song him and I worked on. It's called Dear God, and I hope you like it.
I've got questions, confessions. I just want peace of mind. Time's fading and I'm waiting for something I can't find. I am overwhelmed. Can't I endure this hell? No way to break the spell. I'll spell my heart again. Dear God, I've lost the will to fight. Please give me a sign. I'm empty inside. Got no strength to carry on. The pain has falsified. It's eating me alive. How can I survive? Dear God. Contemplation, aggravation, thoughts that I can't erase. It's a cycle and it is spiteful. My failures laughing in my face. Looking to the sky and gotta wonder why you seem to be standing by. I'm starving for some truth. Dear God, across the will to fight. Please give me a sign. I'm empty inside. Got no strength to carry on. The pain that's falsified. It's eating me alive. How can I survive? Dear God, I just want to encourage you guys that no matter what you're going through tonight, that there's a God that sees and hears your prayers, even when it feels like you can't get out of that dark pit of depression. So I just ask you right now, no matter what you're going through, to keep the faith and know that God is on the throne, man. He's in control. Thank you guys so much. Dear God, I've lost the will to fight. Please give me a sign. I'm empty inside. Got no strength to carry on. The pain has falsified. It's eating me alive. How can I survive? Dear Oh man, Universal City.
Oh, one thing I want to say, man, is it's been awesome being out here, like I said, with 7 Day Slumber and getting to rock out and do my thing and see so many people from so many life's different situations, you know. You guys don't know it yet, but you guys are a part of a dream that I've had since I was 17 years old. When I was just a kid, sitting home bored on my couch, watching Cartoon Network, and dreaming maybe that one day I'd get to step on the stage and rock out with awesome bands like 7 Day Slumber and see so many people come to Christ, you know? But if I could take you back to that time when I was just a little chap at 17 years old, I was kind of that awkward, quirky, small town pastor's son. A little bit weird. I had the blue hair, I had the tattoos, I had the piercings every which way in my face, and every once in a while, to be honest, whenever I walk in church, people are like, that can't be the pastor's son at all. Kind of freaked them out a little bit, but you know what? Something good came out of that time when I was 17, because I was inspired by so many amazing Christian rock bands. I was a fan of bands like Petra. Any old school Petra fans in the house tonight? I was a fan of bands like DC Talk. Any DC Talk fans? Woo! And I'm gonna take a wild guess on this one and see, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but I have a hunch that we have some 7-day slumber fans in the house tonight! And you know what? I had to wake up for school at 6:30 every morning when I was that age, which made me feel like a monster! The secret side of me, I'll never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls and the closet in the hall becomes the wind and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed and my body in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this naked? I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I wonder what I've become. The nightmare's just begun. I must confess that this place, man. What do you think? We did John and Corey proud with that last cover? Come on! Woo! Oh, man. By the way, if you've liked some of the music that you've heard so far and would like the chance to get to meet me, I know I'd love the chance to get to meet you. I'm going to be back at the merch. People are excited. I'm going to be back at the merch table, man. We've got merch. I'm going to be giving away sweaty hugs all around. And nothing would make me happier than to see a lot of people leave this place with my handsome face on their t-shirt tonight. Thank you guys so much.
Can you take me back to a time and a place? back to life inside. 'Cause I need you to stay. I need you to save me. I need you to save me. I need you to save me. Are we doing the Miss Florida right here, man? Yeah! Alright, what about that middle row right there? Come on! You guys are next, man. How you guys feeling? Woo! And we got the Florida over here! Here we go! You to save. I need you to save me. I need you to Thank you guys so much, man. I'm loving the energy, the excitement. I know we're cooking up for having a great time with 7-Day Slumber coming up next, man. Woo! One thing I want to say is that, like I said, I know a lot of you guys come from a lot of different backgrounds and situations. And I just want to encourage you tonight that no matter where you're at right now is not your final destination. No matter what you're going through, God has a plan and a purpose for each and every one of you. And just the fact that you're here tonight is proof of that, you know? Like I said, I've gotten to travel with 7th Day for about 70 some odd dates now and see so many different faces. And God's really blessed me. But if I could take you back just a year ago, it was quite different. The pandemic hit, a tour that I had relentlessly prepared for, put time into, got my hopes up for, and invested money in, had just crashed. And it left me in a depressed state where I would question God, saying, God, you've given me this talent. You've said you've wanted to use me to impact people's lives, and right on the cusp of something great for me, you've given me these talents and not allowed me to use them, you know? And it was just a really tough time for me. I fell into a depression, and because of that depression, I got involved in a really toxic relationship with somebody who did not value me, did not see my worth, and really tore me up inside. I had to end an engagement last year, and it was a really tough time for me. But if I could take you to this year, God has instilled a new purpose with my life, man. He has given me the ability to stand up on this stage and give me the ability to just touch lives everywhere we go. And so I'm saying this about me because I know you guys, man, and whatever you're going through, it's not your final destination. God has a plan and a purpose. I just wanted to let you know that. And this next song goes out to that time when I was in that toxic relationship and I had trouble feeling like enough. And I hope you guys can relate to it. It's called Enough, and I hope you like it. Thank you guys so much. Could I ever be enough for you? 'Cause I don't want to face the truth. I always seem to be the one worth leaving, and in the end I bet you'll leave me bleeding. Enough with you, 'cause I don't want to trust in you. I've got 1,000 scars and 1,000 reasons. It's dangerous to have a heart that's beating, 'cause my heart is like a ball and chain. It's always heavy and attached to betrayal. Now into more mistakes. Another promise with a twist of fate. 'Cause every time I think that someone's having sex, their halo turns to wars and I'm in hell again. It starts off with a spark, but now it's evident that something I can't find. Is there a line between love and war? 'Cause I can't get caught in the landmines. And every move I make is blowing in my face. I just wanna trust it and I know it's insane. While I strive for something real, 'cause all I've known is fake. Look around for a blood and I'm always I can't forget. All these scars remind me when my love turned to regret. Then you put me through it all again. Could I ever be enough for you? 'Cause I don't wanna face the truth. I always seem to be the one worth leaving. And in the end I let you leave me bleeding. Enough with you. 'Cause I don't wanna trust in you. Thousand scars and 1,000 reasons. It's dangerous to have a heart that's beating.
Universal City, Texas, man. Thank you. It's been an amazing time getting to hang out with you guys tonight. And I figure since our time is kind of coming to an end, I'd fill you in on part of the reason why I do what I do. And I can think of 2 reasons. Number 1, I like to get out to rock with awesome crowds like yourselves in Texas tonight. Give it up for yourselves one more time. Number 2, I like to write songs that not only tell my story, but might also relate with you guys out there as well. So I want to ask you this question. What labels have you come in here with tonight? I know long before I got to stand on this stage and hang out with you guys that the odds were already against me. From the time I was born, the doctors already labeled me dead. They didn't think I would make it. I had a traumatic brain injury in the womb, and because of that, I came out with 2 disabilities. I have cerebral palsy, and I have another lesser-known disability called dyscalculia. And I know what it's like going through life in physical therapy treatments, in special ed classes, feeling like a freak to your peers, feeling like a lab rat to your teachers, and I even resented God for letting me be born sometimes. I would sit in my dark bedroom and say, God, why did you create me? I'm nothing but trash, I'm useless. And I didn't know how to take it, man. On top of that, I was raised in a pastor's home where on Sunday, we knew how to paste on that fake Sunday morning smile. We know how to make that picture look just so perfect. But behind the picture was a reality, and the same father who would get up and preach hope to other families on Sunday would come home and abuse me and my mother. And I know what it's like going to school, hiding black and blue marks. I know what it's like going to church, hiding black and blue marks, concerned about altercations that just took place at your house. And I didn't know how to take any of it, man. I couldn't turn to anyone. If I couldn't turn to my friends, if I couldn't turn to my family, and turn to my family who represented God, who could I turn to? So I just ended up in the psych ward, man, completely and utterly alone. And I don't know what labels you've come in here with tonight. Maybe you've been called worthless. Maybe you've been called a loser. Maybe you're an addict that's trying to change, and people keep bringing you down saying that's always how you're going to be. You'll never change. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's a God that brought you here tonight that sees through those labels, that says, I love you just the way you are. I can use you, and it doesn't matter what man says about you, and that is what I say
throughout my life are Not My Name. This next song is called Not My Name. Thank you. To live with. These are the scars that mark me as a misfit. As I look for perceptions, I'm fighting my reflection, and I wonder what you don't understand about staying strong when you fought so long in a world that tells you you don't belong, living in the shadow of all your flaws. Seen for who you are. So label me, call me by my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. I'm so much more than you throw away. That's not my name. That's not my name. These are the scars that I am forced to live with, so pick me apart. I won't fit the mold that you fit. There's a warrior inside me that you played a part in building, because you made me understand about staying strong when you fought so long in a world that tells you you don't belong, living in the shadow of all your flaws. It's hard to be seen for who you are. So label me, call me by my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. I'm so much more than you throw away. That's not my name. That's not my name. I just want to encourage you guys that no matter where you're at, there's a God that sees you where you're at and cares about you. And to signify that, let's get some stuff on myself and light this place up. Can I get some stuff on myself? Yeah! I see you, man. I see you guys. I see you. Yeah. Call me by my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. I'm so much more than you throw away. That's not my name. That's not my name. Universal City, Texas. You guys have been an amazing crowd out there, man. Thank you guys so much. Glad to hang out with you tonight. My name is Matt Sassano. Don't ever let anybody tell you that God doesn't have a plan for your life. We've got 7-day slumber coming up next.
Yo, one more time, San Antonio family,
guys, that
make
was
some
Matt
noise for
Sassano.
Matt
This is
Sassano!
You guys gotta check him out on Spotify.
Come on, give that
Great.
boy some love!
Got a good positive message for you guys to listen to. And you say you just,
Speaking
you know,
that
if you're going
truth,
through
baby,
things,
not
you go
just
through
talking,
addiction,
but
you go through a
walking
lot
it.
of different stuff.
Yeah? One more
gotta
time,
check him
church
out.
man, come on!
Basically, gotta check him out tonight. Make sure you
Hey,
get
yo,
on.
real quick,
Check 'em
we're
out
so
on Spotify
excited,
as well,
evening's
but
just getting started,
besides
but
that,
we want
we
to
got
take a second and we
more
want to show you
to
some
come
ways that you
on
can give
this
some
concert.
love to the band. If you'll check it out, the cards that were in your seats, everybody got one of the nice, pretty white cards? These here white cards will show you just how to do it. We have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and if you look on screen, there should be some SKUs, some places that you can go ahead and scan and send some love over to Seventh Day Slumber. In addition, in case you didn't bring out your smartphone, or maybe tonight your phone's not feeling too smart, it could happen. If that's the case for you tonight, we have some buckets being passed around, and we just ask that you would just give a little bit of love towards these guys tonight that have come forth in truth and in realness and to just pour themselves out. Take a look at this setup. These guys showed up at 12 and just been on the grind since then. So tonight, we just ask that you give a little bit of love and send it their way, yeah? Yeah, one more time, San Antonio. Lift it up and make some noise.
Oh yeah, you can do that. No, you're put back down here.
Stay tuned, there's more to come. We're still got 7th Stage Slumbers coming up on the next stage right now. We're getting ready to set up. But yeah, that was Matt Sassano. I mean, that was just the start of this whole thing, but it's really good. So continue to watch this, check it out. There's a really good positive message behind everything tonight. So hopefully I can leave you going home or going to bed with something that's positive in your life versus all the negative that's going on right now. So hopefully y'all check this out. Continue to watch my channel. Continue to support the channel. I appreciate those that have been supporting it. And I really love you a lot for that. But continue to watch it. Continue to watch this tonight. I mean, I'm telling you, messages are really, really strong. And it's just like, a lot of these guys deal with addiction, they've dealt with just depression, anxiety, everything you can imagine in your life. And hopefully those that are watching the channel that are dealing with those issues right now will be able to have something to go back on and really check out. And hopefully it can all stay positive for you. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to be able to spread that positivity, spread that love, continue to spread that love to everybody else. I know right now we're going through a lot of tough times, so like I said, just continue to watch my channel. That's what I'm hoping for, is that I can continue to push that message of positivity and love throughout everything that's going on. So hopefully this concert does something for you and is able to lead you somewhere in your life down a path that's not on the negativity side. Maybe it helps you rethink things a little bit. So enjoy the music, and like I said, comment in the section, leave a message behind. And again, if you're watching this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow me here on Twitch, and I'm also going to be posting this on YouTube as well. So those that are going to be watching here on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow the channel as well.
Yeah, you're late.
No, you're good, you're good. Okay. Yeah, I'm just streaming on Twitch, so I stream on Twitch for YouTube.
Oh, nice.
here with you tonight at Victory. I want to have a huge round of applause for Pastor for letting us use some fire in here. Come on, give it up. Big shout out to Bill and TJ and everybody that was involved in putting on this event. People that helped us load all of this stuff in, and they're going to help us, hopefully, load it out tonight. And thank you for coming out. Give yourselves a big, big round of applause. A big, big shout out to my homie Gaston in the house tonight from the band. Come here, Gaston. Come here. Give him his own walking music. Here we go. He's say something.
Y'all want to hear this band sing in Spanish?
We may do that a little bit later. I'm trying to make friends with my white people right now, Gaston, and you're messing it up. You're messing it up. Anyway, if you haven't checked out Relit's new album, Heavy, yet, how many of you have heard of the band Relit? All right. If you haven't checked out their band and their new album, Heavy, they're on the same label as us. It's an amazing record, so make sure you check it out. Yeah, this song is a song called Sober. And you good, kid? Okay. It seemed like I threw him off kilter when I said we're gonna play this song, so but he's ready for anything. This is Sober. I hope you guys like it. It goes like this.
Take another day.
He might, though. You never know.
Slowly disappear.
I want to give a big round of applause to all of our veterans in the house tonight. Come on, give it up. We love our veterans, man. We thank you for your service. We thank you for your sacrifice. We thank you for your willingness to lay it all down so we could have nights like tonight. And man, I'm telling you, we love you. We honor you. I want to honor my brother in the house tonight and my cousin in the house tonight who both served our country. Big shout out to my brother John and my cousin George back there. Yeah. They served proudly, man, and I don't get to see my cousin George too much. He lives here in San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, that's right. And my brother lives in Victoria, Texas. Anybody know where that's at? All right. That's where I was raised at, Victoria, Texas. All right. Yeah. Hey, happy birthday to Paisley. Where's Paisley at? Right there. Happy birthday, Paisley. I can sing a whole lot of things. Happy birthday is not one of them. I'm just going to be honest with you. You wish that you didn't have a birthday today, huh? No, we don't. But I will sing you a song, Paisley. This song's called Caroline for you, all right? Goes like this.
Let's hit it, boys.
There's so much I wanna see to make it easier.
Thank you guys very, very, very much. This was the very first worship song that we ever released. Before this song, we were just known as a rock band, but this song is called From the Inside Out. If you know it, sing along.
Yes.
1,000 times I failed, still your mercy remains. And should I stumble again, still I'm caught in your grace. Everlasting, your light will shine when all else fades. Never ending, your glory goes beyond all faith. You got some pipes, Texas. But I want to hear you sing it louder. Will above all else, still my purpose remains. The art of losing myself and bringing you praise. Last, your likeness. Yes, Jesus, we love you. We worship you, Jesus. Holy is your name. My heart and my soul, I give you control. Consume me from the inside out. Let justice and praise become my embrace. To love you from the inside out. Everlasting, your light will shine when all else fades. Never ending, your glory goes beyond all things. And the cry of my heart is to beg you raise from the inside out. My soul cries out. Everlasting, your light will shine when all inside out. My soul cries out. Oh, my soul cries out. Yeah. Amen. I love that song. I lost my place right in the middle of it. Start singing parts weren't even there. Man, I remember being on tour years and years ago. We were head out to the West Coast, and we were on tour with a band called Firefly and a couple of other bands. All right, some Firefly fans. They're also on our label, which is really, really awesome. But anyway, go Team Rockfest, all right. Anyway, listen, this tour was amazing. We were having a good time. It was just awesome, and we went to this church we had never played at before. They invited us to come, and it was somewhere in the middle of the tour, right? And when we pulled into the area, it was all these like multi-million-dollar homes in gated communities, and
like in this old beat up bus at the time, and as we were driving, stuff would fall off of it, you know what I mean? And we were okay with it because it made our bus faster, you know, and motor was struggling. We were putting 2 gallons of oil in a day, I kid you not. That's how much oil was leaking, not burning, it was just leaks all through that motor. And anyway, so then as we're going into this like really, really rich area, there's the church, and we finally see it, and it is like millions of dollars facility with white concrete that looked like it had just been poured. And we pulled in, and within 2 minutes, there is a puddle about that big on their concrete, right? And I'm like, oh man. And I get out of the bus, and our bus it looks like it don't belong, you know what I mean? And I get out waiting to get arrested, and the pastor runs out and he's like, hey, we're glad you guys are here. And I was like, oh man, well, before you get all excited, I'm gonna show you something. And I showed him that oil stain. And he's like, it's okay, come on. And he invited us in. They treated us so good. And then the crowd showed up, and it was a crowd. They were excited, like you guys. They were really excited to be there. And we weren't sure how they were gonna take the music. Because we were like, maybe some of them are here because they only heard from the inside out, right? And they don't know what other stuff we got out, you know? And, but they loved it. They had a great time. And then in the middle of the concert, I said, hey, I just want you guys to know that at our table, you're gonna see a bunch of t-shirts, and you're gonna see a bunch of merchandise, but you're also gonna see pictures of children. So before you buy anything from us, just know that those children on that table, many of them don't have a meal tonight. Many of them didn't eat yesterday. Many of them don't have clean running water. And they need hope tonight. They need help tonight. And I said, so please, instead of buying something from us, find a child to sponsor. There's no contracts. No one's gonna come looking for you if you miss a payment, you know. In the area we were at, it didn't seem like anybody was missing too many payments, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I poured out my heart. It seemed like half were listening, the other half wasn't, but it didn't matter. I just wanted to give it all I had, and I did. And at the end of the night, I shared my story, just about how I was a drug addict with no hope, in and out of somebody's institution, locked up from Texas to California. And I shared about how God had changed my life. And at the end of the night, people, they gave their hearts to Jesus. I could see people being touched by the hand of God. And it was amazing, and it was an awesome night, and we hung out with people, prayed with people, signed autographs, all that kind of stuff. We got like 8 kids sponsored, and I was like, dude, this is an amazing night, and it really was. And then the next day, we weren't too far up the road, but we played on a reservation. And we've played on the res many times. And we've stayed in hold-ons, the whole thing, fry bread, everything. And we've ministered on reservations all across the country, in Canada as well. But this one was different. We pulled in. I felt like I was in a developing nation. And like I said, I've been on the res many times. And I felt the despair, and I felt the loneliness, and I felt the pain. But as I rolled up onto this one, it was different. As a grown man, I wanted to weep. I was ready to weep, man. And I felt the lostlessness, the emptiness, the depression. And there were like 2 mobile homes, and the rest were all like wood and tin. And there were outhouses. And there were people that didn't have electricity, people that didn't have clean running water. Right here in our country. And dude, I was just overwhelmed with like grief. And we pulled in where we were going to play. It was this big dirt arena, rodeo arena, with these wooden stands. And we pulled our bus right behind the stage just to give it a backdrop. And then people showed up and it was packed. And for those couple of hours, those people weren't thinking about nothing else but just having a good time. They were jumping around, they were excited, they were singing. It was amazing, man. Headbanging, dirt all over us, dirt all over them. It was a good time. And then I got to the middle of the concert, like the night before, and I was getting ready to say, back there on our table, and I stopped myself. And I was embarrassed. And I felt like, man, I can't say this. I can't say this, man. I'm looking into a crowd of people that many of them need a sponsor. There are people in that audience that probably didn't have a meal that night. It's a free concert. They invited everybody. They bussed people in. But God told me to say something, and I know that it was God. And I didn't want to. And I'm like, man, this is not, I just don't feel like it's. I know it's you, God, but I don't want to do this. And so quickly, I went, hey guys, there's pictures of children who don't have a meal tonight. They could use your help. If you decide that you want to sponsor a child, then just sponsor a child and I'll give you stuff off our table. You can have free t-shirts, free whatever. And I said, so yeah, God bless you. And then we started playing. I chose my own comfort. Feeling awkward, feeling uncomfortable. I chose my own comfort over what God was telling me to do. I'm ashamed of it. I don't even like telling you this. And I said it real quick just to be like, all right, God, see, I did what you told me to do. And I didn't do a good job. And I knew it. And then we continued to play, and it was awesome. Everybody had a great time. And at the end of the night, I shared my story again. 250 people came to the altar, crying out to God. And I know some people say, that doesn't, they just because they come up there and say a prayer doesn't mean anything. They don't really, most of them don't mean it. That I hear that sometimes. I'm just like, dude, first of all, who are you? Who are you to determine who has an encounter with a living God and who doesn't? You don't know what God doesn't need your permission to work in somebody's life. He doesn't need your directions to work in somebody's life. God can do it while you sit there. You don't have to come to the altar. You know, I'm telling you right now, we get so involved. That's another thing though. I digress. I saw people having an encounter with Jesus. And so anyway, and the truth is we can't save anybody. I can't fix it. I can't even fix myself. I'm not here to fix anybody. I'm here to let you know about a loving God who has his arms open wide for you, who knows your mistakes, who knows your failures, your missteps, the hurt you've been caused and the hurt that you've caused, and loves you through it. And so anyway, we did that, and it was amazing. And I went back to the bus, and I just was going to wipe down real quick, get some of the dirt off, and then I was going to come back out like I did the night before. We were going to sign some autographs, pray with people, love on people, high five people, whatever it was. And Lori, my wife, who's also my best friend in the entire world, we've been married over 22 years. She's beautiful. She's an amazing woman. Yeah, that's right. But she's our tour manager, and she always texts me, and she'll be like, okay, there's a line starting to build up, you need to hurry, or yeah, people aren't here yet, but you know, you still want to hurry. It always ends with hurry. And so anyway, and then she'll tell me, yeah, there's like 6 kids sponsored already, or 3 kids sponsored, and it said 40 kids. And I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I was like, I wrote her back and I said, you mean 4? Like, what kind of attitude is that? But at the same time, I wasn't being mean. I just, like where we were at. And I would have been happy with 4. And she said, no, 40. And God showed me something, and then we'll play some more music. God showed me my mom. Because I was baffled, like 40 kids? No way. I'm embarrassed hearing that come out of my mouth right now. But God showed me my mom in the back of that bus and showed me my mom working 6 and 7 days a week so she could raise 2 boys on a single mother's income. A mom who had been abused, beat, cheated on. No child support coming in. She's raising 2 boys on a single mother's income, doing all she could to make sure that we had a meal. And I don't know how many times my mom probably went without a meal when we were younger. I don't know how many times she went without a meal so that we could have something to eat. My mom never really showed that kind of stuff. She just did what she had to do. She worked at Sears selling furniture on commission. Means you don't sell, you don't make no money. So she had to work all these hours. And here we are. She makes sure we have something to eat so we can, so our brains are operating in school. And here she is going to work 10, 12 hours sometimes. Probably not eating properly, not getting the rest that she needs to get. She's trying to take care of 2 kids, no help. My mom was also always giving to other people. She was always trying to help somebody else out. When I was out on dope, or I was locked up in somebody's institution, I was on a month binge or 2-month binge, my mom was hurting, crying for her son. She was praying and she was crying, and even when I was locked up or I was out on a binge, my mom was celebrating somebody else's child who came home. She wasn't no hater. Some people, if they got it bad, they don't want to celebrate anybody else when good things happen to them. Oh, it won't last. My mom wasn't like that. She was celebrating somebody else's win. She would give them her last few dollars so they could take their kid out to eat. She had people come live at her house when Victoria got flooded out. People she didn't even hardly know come stay with her, and she fed them and clothed them, took care of them. They had nothing, and my mom didn't have anything either, but she gave it. What she had, she gave. And this is what God showed me. The reason my mom did that and could do that is because my mom was close to the pain. Oh, there's something to be said about somebody who's close to the pain. Somebody who understands the pain, because when you're close to the pain, you understand the urgency. When you're close to the pain, you understand the despair. When you're close to the pain, you understand how important it is. You understand the hurt when you're close to the pain. And think about all those people that were there that night. That's why more than 40 kids got sponsored. It's not because there was a ton of money in the room. It's because those people were close to the pain. There were some of them filling out a sponsorship when their own bellies were growling because they hadn't eaten. But they understood the urgency. They understood the need because they were close to the pain. Sometimes God will clean us up so good, we start getting real comfortable, too comfortable. And we forget where we came from. And when you forget where you came from, it's hard to feel anybody else's despair. When you're all about a bless me club, bless me, oh, bless you, bless me, bless me, bless me. Yeah, you've been blessed. Praise God. But you got to give it away to keep it. Don't ever forget where you came from. Tonight, back there by our table, there's a bunch of merchandise, and it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'd love to sell you a t-shirt, but at the end of the day, there are kids that need a sponsor more than I need to sell another CD, another t-shirt, another drumstick. And if you already bought something from us, thank you. but please prayerfully consider sponsoring one of these children. There's no contract. I know we serve a God that if you take care of his, he'll take care of yours. But listen, tonight, if you've already bought some from us, you can still go back there. My wife Lori's beautiful, curly hair back there at the table. You can tell her, look, I want to sponsor a child. She'll give you your money back, let you keep the shirt, and then give you a bunch of other stuff off our table. And for those of you that hadn't bought anything yet, that's okay. I don't need you to buy anything from us. But tonight, if you feel led to sponsor one of these kids, I don't want you to go home empty-handed. So I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. We already sponsor children, so I'm not talking about that. I wouldn't even be up here asking you to do it if I didn't do it myself. So above and beyond that, tonight if you decide you want to sponsor one of those kids, then I'm just going to let you pick whatever t-shirt you want. Have one of each one of our CDs, one of each one of our posters, drumsticks. I think we have beanies on the table, bracelets on the table. You get one of everything off of our table and a t-shirt. And I'm not bribing you to sponsor a child. I'm saying that I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is because I really believe in this God I'm talking about. Amen. I appreciate you guys letting me share. It really means a lot to me. Thank you. Listen, we got a brand new album that just came out like 3 weeks ago and hit the Billboard 200, top 200. So I was really, really excited. But I want to do something. I want to get everybody, it's going to be loud and it's going to be probably the heaviest stuff. It is going to be the heaviest stuff we've done tonight. But we're going to do 3 songs off of our brand new album, Death by Admiration. But I want everybody to pack this whole place out. We're actually about to go live on Seventh-day Slumbers page as well. So anyway, so we're going to pack this whole place out right here. And once again, it's going to be a little loud. It's going to be a little whatever. But yeah. But anyway, someone wrote me and they said, dude, I thought you guys were a Christian band. Why are you admiring death? And I was like, that's not what it means. Anyway, death by admiration, really all it means is that sometimes we hold a lot of stuff in, we're going through our things, but there are people that look up to us. And in my particular case, there was people all across the world that really admired me, that really looked up to me, that really, they came to me for encouragement. They came to me to lift them up, to pray for them. And before I knew it, I was hurting, and I didn't even realize how bad I was hurting until it was almost too late. And I'm ashamed to admit this to you, but I've been living for the Lord, well over 20 years, but 10 years into it, I made the decision to pick up the bottle again. And that's what that song Sober is about. It's not about my drug addiction that God delivered me from. And so anyway, I was hurting so bad, man, that I picked up that bottle. And I was afraid to tell anybody how bad I was hurting, and especially after drinking and then becoming an alcoholic as the lead singer of a Christian band. And me not wanting to let anybody else down, I thought I would crush them if they knew that. And I was ashamed of what I was doing. I didn't want anybody to know. But it was killing me inside, and that's what death by admiration means. And you'll see a picture of the album cover up here in a minute. And there's a guy, instead of a coffin, he's in a trophy case holding a Grammy with a bunch of trophies around him. And so I just want to let you know, man, find someone to talk to. Find someone to talk to. If you're going through some things in your life, you need to share them with somebody. I know a lot of you, it's hard to trust because people have let you down. But anyway, yeah, 3 songs off the new album. I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on what the name Death by Admiration means. Y'all ready to rock out? Okay. that comes out next Friday, March 4th, on Revolver Magazine. So listen, we're going to give you a link to that. We haven't released a music video in 10 years. And so this is the first video in 10 years that we've released. And it's going to be premiering on Revolver Magazine. So this song's called What I've Become. Thank you very much. This is also off of our brand new album, Death by Admiration. We got 2 more songs for you guys. This song is a song called Halos, and it's just about not having the opportunity to say goodbye to somebody before it's too late. You miss the opportunity to talk to somebody that's struggling, that's hurting, and you got things going on, and you miss that opportunity, and then they're gone, and you can't say the things that you wanted to say anymore. And maybe you hold it, feel like it's your fault, maybe you wish you could take it back, and you've carried that burden. Yeah, this is Halos. very much. Make sure you go pick up the record Death by Admiration, add it to your playlist. This is our last song, and then we're going to be hanging out tonight back there. Once again, we don't care if you buy anything from us. We'd rather you find a child. Listen, I don't know what you're dealing with tonight. I don't know what you're going through. Some of you have been through some pretty messed up stuff. Some of you are here tonight and it's all you can do to find the strength to smile and have a good time tonight because you're hurting deep down inside. And I know that kind of pain. I made a decision to take my own life when I was almost 22 years old. I had a $400 a day cocaine addiction. I told you I was in and out of jails, institutions, I was locked up. Broke my mom's heart. And I know what it means to feel like there is no hope. I know what it means to look in the mirror and hate what you see, even after giving your life to Jesus. It's easy for me to tell you the story about when I was a cocaine addict and God delivered me. It's hard for me to tell you that 10 years after living for the Lord and knowing His goodness, going from homeless to homeowner, going from not having a dad in my life to being a father to my 3 kids that I never had. God did all of that. And then I chose to drink. Before I knew it, it wasn't a choice anymore. And that's been years ago that God delivered me from alcoholism. But listen, I took that miracle that God did. I'm talking about I locked myself in a room. I told my wife, Laura, you're going to have your husband back. I'm so sorry. I told my kids, you're going to have daddy back. And if I can't get clean off of this alcohol within the first week, I'm going to check myself into a rehab, and I don't care what Twitter says about me. I don't care what Facebook says about me or any of that. And I went upstairs, and I locked myself, man, in a room, and I was shaking, and I was in pain, like my whole body hurt, my soul hurt. I just wanted another drink so bad, man. And I was praying, and I'm saying, God, I'm so sorry that I just want another drink. God, I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't feel this way. And God, I love you. I do. I love you with my whole heart. And I don't know why I want to drink so bad, God. I know that you heal. I know that you restore. I know that you're a redeemer. Why do I want this so bad instead of waiting on you? Why do I keep picking that over you? And I said, God, I'm going to invest in my own healing, and I'm not coming out of this room. I don't care if it kills me. I don't care how bad I want alcohol. And I hurt. And the next day, boy, I hurt even worse. And my wife would bring me some water up, bring me some whatever, Gatorade and food. And I was locked up, and I was trying to just binge watch something to get my mind off of it. I couldn't, man. And then 3 days into it, I started feeling better. Like, man, I'm not. And then in 4 days, or about then, I was healed, man. I was healed. I'm telling you the truth. I don't need to make God sound bigger than He is. He created the universe. I'm talking about I was healed. I was restored. I felt good. It was crazy. Definitely clap for God. Don't clap for me, because I'm going to tell you what happened after that. I took that miracle that God had done, and I opened up this closet, and I put it in there, and I closed the door, and I didn't tell anybody about it. Why? times I was ashamed. I was embarrassed, and instead of telling people about the miracle that God had done in my life, I was concerned about my reputation. I was concerned about how people would see me. I hadn't been found out yet by that many people. I'm real vulnerable telling you this stuff. And a couple of years back, God told me that I needed to start talking about this. And when I did, I didn't realize how many other people had gone through the same thing, maybe not with alcohol, but with something else, after living for the Lord. And I realized there were people that felt like they couldn't come back to Jesus because surely he must hate them. But he doesn't. His arms are open wide. He knew the mistakes you were going to make before you ever made them. And he hasn't changed his mind about you. And God not only loves you, Jesus not only loves you, he wants you. He wants you. He wants you. He wants you. I know what some of you have been told. You can't come like that. You can't come like that. You need to go get fixed up before you come to this church. Coming in here a drug addict, an alcoholic. You can't come in church like that. You get yourself cleaned up. You were just at the bar last night. You don't come into church like that. Get yourself fixed up. And we sit there and we say, Jesus, I want you to want me. But I know I don't deserve that from you. I know what I've done. And if you can really see everything, then you must hate me. Shoot, I can hide stuff from you. I can hide stuff from you, and some of you will still leave me, just knowing a fraction of my mistakes. I know people that left me over a Facebook post that I've known for 12, 13 years. Not even knowing the stuff, the dirt I've done, like the real stuff. Over a fraction of my mistakes, you'll leave me. And God can see it all. I have zero chance with him. I gotta get myself fixed. I'm gonna get myself fixed. Jesus, I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna stop doing this, and then I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna quit drinking. I'm gonna quit using drugs. I'm gonna quit looking at whatever it was, www. And then I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to you and let me get it right. And then I'll come to you and you got it all wrong. You don't fix yourself to come to Jesus. You come to Jesus to get fixed. You come to Jesus for your healing. You come to Jesus for your redemption. You come to Jesus for your restoration. You can't fix yourself. Sometimes it is too big for you. But it ain't too big for God. And God doesn't hate you. He loves you. Man, I can tell you a story about him just seeing a glimpse of his son. A son who had done him so dirty, man. Done him so wrong. And he saw just a glimpse of his son coming up the road. And the Bible says he ran to him. He didn't see if he was clean first. He didn't see if he smelled like a pig farm. He didn't see if he smelled like throw up. He didn't see if he had quit doing what he was doing. He just ran to him. Sometimes, and I'm not Christian bashing. I'm a Christian and I love Christian people, man. I love everybody though. You don't have to be a Christian for me to love you. But sometimes us as Christian people, I'm talking to my Christian people, we start patting people down first like we're Jesus' doorman. Oh, let me check. Yep, this one's good. Like at the club where there's a doorman, some people don't get in.
You got to bribe the doorman to get in. I'm patting him down, man. Oh, yes, Jesus will see you now. Oh, don't. You ain't dressed right. You don't look right. You don't get in. This one over here, come on. No, I really shouldn't let you in. You got what for me? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Come on in. And Jesus is saying, I don't need a doorman. You need to be patted down. Step out of the way. I don't need your permission. Say you can't come to Jesus in your filth. Yes, you can. Oh, I'm gonna make somebody mad. You can't come to Jesus as an alcoholic. Yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus on drugs. Yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus with that funny relationship. Oh, yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus with your anger. Yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus with your bitterness. Oh, yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus with your depression. The joy of the Lord. Oh, yes, you can. You can't come to Jesus with your questions, especially if they're about Him. Oh, yes, you can. Come. He'll meet you right where you're at. Your filth, your failures, your sins. I don't care what you've been told. It's the truth. You can come to Him, come as you are. But He loves us too much to leave us that way. Amen.
Yeah.
The problem is, sometimes we're not really coming to Jesus because we're ready to be restored. We're coming to Jesus because we want fire insurance. Well, I'm not ready to quit going to the bars. I'm not ready to quit doing this or quit doing that. I just want to make sure that I don't go to hell. Jesus, if you're real, I give you my heart tonight. Amen. Somebody passed a bruise. I'm talking about, God, I can't take this anymore. God, I can't quit on my own. God, I'm so high right now, but I'm still crying out to you. God, I'm drunk right now and I'm filthy with throw up and I'm still... God, I can't change, I don't think. But God, if you're willing, like that man said, if you're really still willing to take me as I am, because I can't go any further on my own.
This message is positive.
I'm willing to have you change me.
People to get something out of this.
I'm talking about that.
I know it's coming.
Kind of coming to the Lord.
Like preachy thing. It's, okay. I'm not preaching.
And He'll be the one to do the changing if you'll invest in your own healing.
In my life.
Would you bow your heads and close your eyes all over this place? I said we have one more song, and that's true. But I got 3 quick questions. Question number 1, between you, me, and God only. You say, Joseph, I've hurt so bad that I've thought about suicide. I'm not going to point at you. I'm not going to call you out. You say, recently, I've hurt so bad that I've actually thought about taking my own life. I don't care if you were raised in church. I don't care if it's the first time you ever stepped foot in a church. Pain is universal. You say, I'm ready to give my heart to the Lord, but I've got some failures. But tonight, I'm going to admit, I've thought about suicide. If that's you, that's question number 1. You've thought about suicide recently, past 6 months, past year or so. Just quickly raise your hand in the air so I can see who I'm talking to. Yeah, God bless you. All right. Yeah, you can put your hands down. And question number 2, like I said, you're ready to give your heart to Jesus. You say, I don't even know if I could be a good Christian, but I'm willing. And if He'll still have me, I'll give my heart to Him tonight. I don't know how to change. Sometimes I honestly don't want to change, but I know I need to change. I'm ready. If that's you all over this place, don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. You got nothing to be ashamed about. Just quickly pop your hand up right now all over this place. Yeah. All right. Yeah. And this is my last question. You say, Joseph, I know what it means to go to church, pray, read my Bible, sing in the choir, or lead a Bible study, whatever it is. But your serving God has replaced you knowing God, or you've allowed some things into your life you know aren't right, man. And you want to change it, but you don't know how. You feel like you've let God down, and you just want to come back to that place where you first fell in love with Jesus. If anything I said tonight spoke to your heart, we're just going to say this prayer. It's not these words in any special order that break the Da Vinci Code, and now Jesus can finally hear you. It doesn't work that way. God does not read your lips. He reads your heart. You can mess the whole prayer up with your mouth, but if your heart is right, the Bible says that God can trust a sincere heart. So we're just going to pray. And those of you that you're doing good, we're going to pray anyway. We're going to show our support. Here we go. Father God, forgive me of my sins. I know I've messed up. But tonight, I want to be made brand new. Jesus, I give you my heart tonight. I give you my life. Have your way in me. Cover me with your precious blood. The blood that makes all things brand new. In your precious name I pray. Amen. Listen, we're super proud of you. This is a song called Lead Me to the Cross, and I want to encourage you, if you said that prayer tonight and you don't have a church home, I know that Victory would love to have you. They have treated us like family. They have loved on us. But if you have a church that you're already going to, make sure that you get involved. It's not enough to come to the altar and say a prayer and then go back to doing whatever it is you were doing. If you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. So make sure that you get involved, man. Like I said, they would love to have you here. And I don't know what you're doing tomorrow morning, but if you live in New Braunfels, some of you came from New Braunfels, some of you came from other places, but we are leading worship tomorrow at Faith Alive Church. But if you go here, don't leave your church, you know what I mean? But tomorrow, if you want to worship with us in the morning, Faith Alive Church in New Braunfels, we're going to be there doing worship, us and Matt Sassano. Anyway, this will be our last song. Once again, thanks to everybody that came out tonight. Thanks to all of those who were involved in putting on tonight's event. Man, it's been amazing. We've had a great time. And let's worship.
Remember
my viewers right now, if you're watching, there's two different companies that you guys can go through to start making donations to kids in foreign countries. That if you do have extra, I know at times like this right now may seem like it's hard in the finances and stuff like that, but there's two companies that we'd like you to check out, which is one, Child Fund International, and then two is Compassion International as well. So if you can check out those two websites as well, and maybe sponsor a child that is in another country, or I know that through Compassion and through Child Fund that it is for the children and it is for good reasons. And I know through my giving through Compassion itself that I've done already, we've received letters from the kids that we do sponsor, and also through tonight I actually sponsored a child through Child Fund, but that's on my heart, and it's something that I like to do, and something that I know that's given back to me because it's positive, and I do like being able to support other countries as well. And the best gift is what you receive back, as far as just knowing that you're doing something for somebody else. It's not that you have to get something back in return. I really thank you guys that have been watching tonight. This has been an awesome concert. I know there's been a lot of positivity that's been here with the concert as well. Hopefully something touched you in your life. I know there's a lot of ums in there, but I thank you for all that you do. I do thank you and love you guys for all the support that you've given me as far as my channel goes. And hopefully with this concert tonight, it was something that I could get back to you. I'm trying to see if I can get an interview with one of the singers from 7 Days Slumber as well. And hopefully just in a second here. So stand by. It's going to be a little hard here.
That's the best answer, right? Right? Yeah, when you get home, that's the law. You gotta make sure you're It was good seeing you again.
Wow. You got left. That's it. It's like, well, Tuesday I'm not going to eat anything.
I'm going to check out some things are rolling. Yeah, we're about to head up. That sounds good, man. I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.
Hey y'all, I just talked to the lead singer from 7 Days Slumber. he said he'll give me an interview right after he's getting done signing and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is he'll do a separate. I'm going to go ahead and close out my stream right now, but at the end of this, I'll have a interview with 7-Day Slumber. So thank you again for watching, everybody, and I appreciate it. Thank you. Love you guys. See you soon.